Hey guys, welcome back to my Animal Adventures YouTube channel, and in this video I want to talk about this room that I'm standing in right now. And in this room, this is the room that I breed all my ball pythons in, and my rats and my frogs, and I want to tell you how I started and how I built up this investment all the way to this point. Alright, so I know some of you guys are investing in rental property, in 401k, maybe doing a little day trading in the market, or buying some silver or gold, and let me tell you, I decided early on that the investment that I wanted to chase was ball pythons. And for me, it seemed like it was the biggest return on investment. Not only that, it was a passion and an obsession, and I really enjoy working with animals. And I don't know if you've ever had an investment that's one of your obsessions, but every single penny that you make, you want to invest into that passion, knowing that you're going to get a return on investment. And let me tell you, for years and years, my wallet hurt because every single penny I made, I was investing in this room. So I don't know of anyone who has crammed so much equipment and so many animals into such a small space. This room is 180 square feet, and I want to give you a quick tour of this room just to kind of show you what I have going on here. I don't know if you've seen my videos before, but over here I breed mice in these two levels up top, and then I have some smaller breeder tubs for rats and some grow out tubs for rats over here. These are all ARS caging. These each one of these costs about, I think they're like $2,500 a rack. So you can imagine that times this whole room. It's quite the investment. And when I first started, I actually started using aquariums over here, and I had wire racks with aquariums, and I got to the point where I was so frustrated with the cleaning and the maintenance of those aquariums that I decided I had to buy these racks. And let me tell you, these racks were a lifesaver. I pretty much got my life back when I bought these racks, and it was a huge sacrifice trying to come up with the money to buy these racks, let me tell you. And then from there, let me show you my snakes. So on the top I have breeder tubs up here. These are all my mature female breeders, and they actually produced for the first time this year. So I'm actually making some money after my 5 years of blood, sweat, and tears of an investment. I'm finally getting a payback, and now I should be getting money every year from these, and I'm kind of over the initial hump of the investment of just trying to build my collection and build the equipment. And these are these are pretty much, and then I have a couple retics, some really big reticulated pythons in here. I'm dabbling a little bit in the dwarf and super dwarf albino reticulated pythons, but mostly it's ball pythons. And then I have some really big females down here. These are my super big, really my biggest ball pythons. She is a monster. That's about as big as they ever get. Okay, from here I actually have my hatchling rack over here. This is an ARS 1039 hybrid. Holds 39 snakes, and as soon as I bought this hatchling rack, I filled the whole thing up in like a month, and I had to buy another hatchling rack. And my other hatchling rack is a 1065 over here, and it holds 65. And luckily this year I didn't fill the whole thing. I almost filled the whole thing, but not quite. I had about 100 hatchlings, and then some of those I moved over here into this rack. Those are my holdbacks, and a lot of these they're gaining really fast. This one's really looking for a rodent, and I'm not going to take him out because he looks pretty snappy. But a lot of these are my holdbacks, hopefully future breeders. I have some scaleless head stuff, and those things will definitely pay for this equipment in no time at all. And you get a few hatchlings in here, and you get a rack full of hatchlings, and it easily pays for all this equipment. The only thing is that it takes 5 years typically to get there, especially if you're starting from scratch like I did. Okay, instead of kind of stopping at each rack, I'm just going to give you kind of a panoramic of everything in here all the way around. And I have this set up to where it's you can't even hardly capture it on film, because you almost need a bubble lens in here because everything's jammed in here really quick. And these are my frogs right here. I just started getting into the frogs. Some Pac-Man frogs and a pixie frog. and I'm not quite sure if I can't. There's no way I can. I wanted a couple more frogs, but I just can't put them in this room because nothing, absolutely nothing, will fit in here. The only way I can fit something else in here maybe is if I hang it from the ceiling. But it's really tight in here. It's pretty unbelievable. So if you're just starting out in the ball python investment game, what I would highly recommend is going with some really high-end equipment like this and invest a little at a time. So you can buy just one level at a time and it won't break the bank. And when I started, I think I had one or two of these levels just sitting on the ground and there's nothing else in here. And then from there, I think what I did is I bought some wire racks and some aquariums, and I started breeding rats in aquariums and kind of got a feel for breeding the rats to see kind of how I liked it and how much work it was. And I found I really liked breeding the rats, and it really added to the whole experience of breeding snakes, and it saved me some money. And actually with the rats, I had a little bit of something to sell at the store. You're not going to make a whole lot of money with the rats. Where you're going to make your money is with the ball python hatchlings. And let me tell you, once your hatchlings start coming, you really never have to worry about money again, because, you know, a rack of 50 or 100 hatchlings, and it doesn't really matter what they are, they'll definitely pay for all this equipment. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as the history of my investment in this ball python craze. And if you're just buying hatchlings, you're just getting into it, let me tell you, it can be a long ride, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.